Route 66 is one of the most iconic road trips in America. But today we're not driving it, we're flying it. Oklahoma is home to the longest stretch of Route 66, packed with tiny towns, old diners, and airports that put you right next to the adventure. But this trip is more than just seeing what's along the mother road. We came back to Fairview, Oklahoma for Tina's annual condition inspection, which meant taking our airplane apart, checking everything, and making sure she's ready for another year of flying. And while we were here, we made a pretty massive upgrade. We installed Garmin's newest avionics, AXIS, in our airplane. And today is our first real adventure with an entirely new integrated flight display. So, we're gonna fly Route 66, stop at some of the best places on and just off runway, and see how these new avionics actually change the way we explore from the air. Hi, we're Aaron and Paul, and 6 years ago, we had a crazy dream to own our own plane, fly it to all 50 states, and explore the best things to do on and just off airports. And after years of learning, then building our dream plane last year, we're finally doing it. Flying ourselves in our plane Tina to all 50 states powered by Lycoming. So welcome to state number 9, Oklahoma.
We are back, baby. We're so back. It has been a year. 1 year later. Oh, hi, chef. Anyway, so we are back in the shop where it all began. It's been about a year since we finished the build of our plane Tina, and every year planes have to do an annual. It's basically like a checkup of the plane to make sure that everything is functioning correctly. But in the experimental world, the build it yourself world, they call it a condition inspection. And technically, Paul is the one that can do it himself because his name is on the repairman certificate. But since we're not AMPs and we haven't done this before, we're back at the shop where it all began. So this week, Paul's gonna be doing our first condition inspection with Virgil, and we have one very exciting upgrade we're gonna be making to our plane. We have AXIS, Garmin's newest flight display.
Surprise!
Are you approving of the work getting done? Yep.
All right, so one of the unique things about these Bearhawks is they've had a very, we'll call it unique fuel cap for a long time. That's super difficult. Like sometimes I have to use pliers to wrench them out. But Virgil and the team designed a brand new fuel cap. While we're here, we're gonna go ahead and modify all of our fuel tanks with the new fuel cap. And it's a bit of a process to do. They estimate about 2 hours per fuel tank, but it's something that all the Bearhawk guys can do now. And I think they're coming standard in the kits, right? Yeah, standard in the kits starting this fall. Toby's well into the process. Any modification to the wing itself?
Yeah, you have to do some cutting on the wing for the new neck. And we have a 3D printed piece that you'll put on there. And then we'll take a little angle grinder type thing, grind it out.
They're still okay-ish.
Yeah, they're not that bad. They're not as bad as we thought they were.
Not that bad. Guys from Garmin just got here and the AXIS displays arrived and they have them powered up. So we get to go look at them for the first time. So you're gonna be looking with me. Oh my gosh, is that it? Stop, she is queen.
Got a new member in Bearhawk. Oh, okay, AXIS.
My gosh, they look so good. Well, it's our last day in the shop right now. We're wrapping up a lot of projects. Final finishing touches on the condition inspection and our upgrades. I'll do a quick highlight overview of everything that's been done. New landing lights, new acrylic landing light lenses. We got new brake pads and our new rotor on our left. Upgraded the battery box, second EMAG. Oil changes, remote oil cooler is hooked up. Got a new windshield going in right now. Brought in our landing gear, new fairings. Big one was the fuel caps. Virgil is modifying our flat fairing right now. New tail wheel. So a massive annual, a massive maintenance downtime here, and the team has cranked it out in literally 5 days. I cannot believe that we're wrapping this up and that we'll be headed out here in no time flat. We just pushed Tina out. There's some stuff we got to do with AXIS and then also test flying a few of the things. So we have the new tail wheel on. We definitely want to feel that out. We have VGs. That's new. So we got to test the new stall characteristics of the plane. And along with all that, we have AXIS to test out. So we're gonna fly some approaches and then just make sure everything works well. We also swapped a mag, so we got to make sure the mag works. So lots of things going on here. Gonna go ahead and do our test flight and get the first feel for AXIS. I'm so excited.
Traffic, 3 Echo Papa, departing 3-5. Fairview.
2-5's different, does it?
Yeah, she really does.
So good. I'm so excited for you to fly with these avionics too.
You know the song Tone, Tan, Fit, and Ready? That's Bearhawk. All right, Route 66, here we come.
Turn it up, cause it's getting heavy.
She's so much more responsive. I'm actually not used to this. Usually I have to give bigger inputs.
So if you come over here to this little button right here and you hit PFW, primary flight window, then you can see. And look, it shows you where you're at on the runway.
Oh my gosh. That just makes it too easy, especially because with Tina, you really can't see over the hood of her. Like, I have a booster seat and I'm still like having to look out the side and I'm still missing half of this.
And look at the runway markings too.
Oh, that is so nice.
So you know just right away, oh, it's 1735.
Fairview traffic, November 513, Echo Papa, departing 17 to the south, Fairview.
Little no flap takeoff there.
Oh, you did no flaps?
Yeah.
Did you forget?
Yeah.
Bye, Fairview. You have the flight plan in already.
Flight plan's in.
This actually wasn't planned at all, but we came to find out it is the 100th anniversary of Route 66. It's kind of wild that we're doing that on the 250th anniversary of the U.S.
That was so unintentional. I love it when that happens. Well, from Fairview, it's not very far to get to Route 66. We're just headed straight south, and we'll be flying into our first stop. I hope you're hungry.
I am hungry.
We found this spot that's only a couple miles from the airport, and it has been around for over 60 years. Famous for something called an onion burger.
What is an onion burger? Okay, first impressions. I think what the coolest thing to me right now is how fast this is. Before, with the G3X, it gave you all the information you could ever need at your fingertips, but you had to wait sometimes a few seconds for it to load. Here, it's really fast. That's honestly really impressive.
I mean, this is what you get when, you know, it's 2026 and they're updating something that hasn't been updated in a while. This is a new platform. I've flown with it on 3 flights now. This is my 4th flight. I think the best way for me to describe this is there's a lot of little things that were changed and improved. And all of those little things that were changed and improved have made a completely new system, and you can feel it. Like, it's hard to articulate, like, oh, this one thing. Like, there's plenty of things, and I'm definitely going to go over some of them because I think they're fascinating. But it's everything combined that makes AXIS like this integrated flight system that is like tangible. It is a tangible upgrade. So there's one feature I heard about before the install. It's a huge safety of flight thing. So now instead of having a nearest button, they have an emergency button. What the emergency button does is, as we learned very basics early on in private training, you, in the case of emergency, you aviate, then you navigate, and then you communicate. Well, what Garmin's trying to do with this emergency button is take care of all 3 of those things. As Brian, the guy who showed us these displays from Garmin, as he said,
it aviates for you, it navigates for you, it helps you communicate so that you have time to resolve. Like, we don't talk about the 4th one because up till now, we were too busy with the first 3.
Yeah.
You know, the resolve really wasn't much of an option.
I want to show you this emergency page. I think this is really cool. At the top, you have Smart Glide, and instantly, when you hit it, it's going to pitch your best glide and start taking you to the nearest suitable airport for your aircraft. So right there, you've just aviated and you've navigated. And then the 3rd thing, communicate. And at the bottom, you have your emergency frequency just ready, because in an emergency, like, it's easy to forget things that you know. It's easy to forget those. So emergency frequency's there, your nearest unicom, and then your transponder. So you can instantly just bam, 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 hit them all, and then you're able to then rectify. Like, your focus can just go to the airplane. And I think that's amazing.
All right, first Route 66 stop, Weatherford. I think a lot's gonna be closed for the 4th.
Yeah.
So I see a crew car over there, but it is locked and the whole FBO is shut down, so.
But we got an e-bike!
We got an e-bike and it sounds way more fun anyway. It's only a 7-minute bike ride.
Okay, so apparently our mic decided to stop working, but after landing, we headed down the road to Lucille's. And if you've ever driven Route 66, you've probably heard of the name. Lucille Hammonds became known as the Mother of the Mother Road because she was famous for taking care of travelers who passed through her service station way back in the day. Nearly 100 years later, people are still making the trip though because of the legacy she left behind. And with Lucille's being less than a mile and a half from the airport, it felt like the perfect stop for lunch before continuing our Route 66 adventure.
Do you have the fried onion burger? Is that famous here? We have a mushroom Swiss burger. The internet lied to us again. We don't even know what it is. We were just told you have to go to the onion burger.
El Reno's famous for it. Well, we'll have to get our fried onion burger elsewhere.
I know.
What get for you using ChatGPT to figure out the best spots.
Party foul.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh, it's fun. It's hot.
All right, it's a 50 nautical mile flight over to Wiley.
Is this on Route 66 too?
Yeah, we're gonna follow Route 66 pretty much the whole way.
November 513, Echo Papa, departing 17 to the east, Weatherford.
This is so cool. We're literally over Route 66.
Are we right now?
Yeah, we're like over this Route 66 right there. Clear to land.
Well, this is kind of taking a turn. Our time in Wiley was supposed to be pretty short, and we were supposed to continue the rest of the Route 66 journey, but alas, I think we have different plans. Or weather does.
Dude, the Midwest has been crazy, and yeah, I mean, they just blast us with storms here.
Yeah.
Summer's crazy here. When I came in a week ago, I had to stop in Oklahoma City because of weather, and now we were trying to get to Tulsa, but there are some gnarly cells coming. Tornado activity, hail activity coming in. Yeah, the winds out here, that's what gets you. So apparently a week and a half ago, just outside of Fairview, there was a storm that had no tornadoes, but the wind was strong enough in the storm to flip over like an 80-car train, like take it off the tracks. They're still cleaning up from that right now, so don't want to mess around with that. The guys here at Jet Set FBO at Wiley Post are trying to figure out some hangar space for us, so hopefully we'll get in and out of the weather. But it looks like Aaron and I are going to be chilling in Oklahoma City for the night.
Yeah.
Happy 4th in OKC.
And Route 66 will return tomorrow.
Yes, we're going to be back on Route 66 tomorrow.
I did look it up, and Pops is open at 6 a.m.
Ooh.
And it's 30 minutes from here. So we were originally just going to overfly, but now I'm thinking maybe we just take a courtesy car and go stop.
That sounds great.
Morning. Oh, that's right. I forgot they had a diner. Ready to go finish Route 66?
I am. That was a good stop.
I also want to show y'all a little behind the scenes. Garmin hasn't released this to the public yet, and this is how we've been hiding it.
Wiley Post ground. Good morning, 513 Echo Papa at Jet Set with uniform.
513 Echo Papa, Wiley Post ground, runway 35 right, taxi via Bravo Alpha 5 Alpha cross runway 31.
Bravo Alpha 5 Alpha cross 31 for 3 Echo Papa to 35 right. All right, so Bravo Alpha 5. Dude, this is so nice. It just like gives it to you. You can see exactly which taxiway is what. These are things they told us about, but like actually seeing them in person and like using them, this is actually a huge game changer.
Especially at unfamiliar airports.
There's an unfamiliar airport. It's a large airport. It's a Delta. Right, we got the clearance across at 3-1.
I think smart taxi has become one of our favorite features.
Yeah, I agree. That is interesting how it changes perspective.
I saw that too. Yeah, it like totally flipped once you were on the runway.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you got back on the taxiway, it went back to your
like taxi view.
Taxi view, yeah. I feel like we're gonna be like finding all these nuances about this panel for like the next month or so.
So true. Look at the dash marks on the runway. Oh my gosh, and it's showing the traffic coming in. We're going to Pops and then we can follow Route 66 from there.
Right.
3 Echo Papa runway 35 right, clear for takeoff.
35 right, clear for takeoff. I honestly love that we're just bebopping Route 66.
Which one's Route 66?
I don't know, I was just saying that.
Oh,
We're not actually over it right now.
Wait,
we are. It's right there.
Is this?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah! Oh my gosh, there it is!
Dude.
Pops!
Okay, so along Oklahoma's Route 66, there's a lot of huge landmarks. Yesterday we went to Lucille's, and today we started our day off, I think the right way, going to Pops.
It's a gas station, but it also has a diner inside and also over 700 different types of sodas. And the sodas range in so many different flavors.
Swamp juice, worm ooze, bug bar.
They also have like normal flavors too. And it's one of the most famous Route 66 attractions, specifically for Oklahoma, and it was rated the best one in Oklahoma as well.
I will say, I grew up coming to Oklahoma. I grew up in Kansas, and I came down to Oklahoma several times, and Pops was always something that was talked about. It's very well known. To get to see it on the ground and now up in the air, this is really fun. I'm ready to pop open my soda.
Oh, yes, we gotta pop open our pop over Pops. Pop on pop. I'm like Dr. Seuss now. We didn't get weird flavors. I got cherry limeade.
And I got some cream soda. I wonder if anyone's ever bought Pops and then flown above it and drank it.
And reached in the back of their fridge to drink it. We're so extra.
Honestly, road tripping Route 66, this is so fun. When I think of traveling across the country, I don't know, this so aligns. Like, stopping at little airports all along this road. We're finding the cool attractions, and then we have the bike. Whenever we land, we can just go rip around and go somewhere. This is so fun to me. I'm loving this. Okay, so there's a feature on the traffic page that feels pretty new to me. So when I see a target, I can select the target, and I get a lot of information down here. So I get the aircraft type, its tail number, its track, our closure rate to that aircraft, the ground speed of that aircraft, and the range we are from them. And then if there's more aircraft on the screen, I can just hit next target. It'll take me to the next one, and I see the same information. So the other day we were flying, it was on our second test flight of this, and we went out to the Salt Flats, and on the way home from the Salt Flats, we were following a couple other planes. And using this, I was able to see my closure rate on the aircraft. So I knew that I was overtaking one of our friends, and then I was able to heckle them as I did. And that was really nice. But it's a big safety thing. Like, for us to be able to know exactly how fast we're gaining on somebody, or how fast they're coming to us.
We're coming up to the Blue Whale. The Blue Whale is another really famous Route 66 attraction here in Oklahoma. And there's actually a really cute story behind it. The guy that made it back in the 70s made it for his wife. She collected little whale figurines. And instead of buying her another figurine, he was like, I'm just going to build her a massive whale. So he made her this whale that is 80 feet long, 20 feet high, and is right next to a pond. And at that point, it was only just like a friends and family attraction, apparently. Friends and family would come from all over just to hang out, go swim in the pool. They would like jump from the tail. So it's kind of like a whole wholesome attraction. And it's kind of perfect that it's on Route 66 because it adds some little like unique, quirky vibes as well.
There's no great airport nearby. It's like 20-minute drive or like a 40-minute e-bike ride to this attraction. So we're not going to stop at it, but we definitely wanted to check it out.
We'll circle the whale. Apparently you can't swim in it anymore either, so like why even
really?
go? Yeah, no. The state bought it and ended up fixing it up. Now it's a no longer swimming zone.
Oh, no way I can see it.
There it is, right next to the pond. Who says you can't have marine life in Oklahoma? You never built me a whale.
I built you a plane.
Traffic, November 513, Echo Papa, final, what's up in Sonita? That is so cool, we literally just landed over Route 66.
Agreed. Okay, 1,000 RPMs.
Route 66 approach, Paul. You can add that one to the logbook.
Wait, I lied. It's not Route 66. That's I-40. But Route 66 is like there, and then we're here, so it's close. But we went over the competition. I-40.
All right, ready for our next stop?
Let's do it.
Let's get some food.
Couldn't get a hold of the airport manager to get the crew car, so bike it up.
Wow, we're really using it a lot already.
Honestly, yeah. It's closed.
I think it's closed.
Benita traffic, experimental Bearhawk 513, Echo Papa departing 17 to the north, Benita. Well, Brom's milkshake is devoured, and we're on to the monster. We were supposed to stop at Clinton's Cafe. It's one of the oldest cafes on Route 66. And unfortunately, she's closed down now. I'm just kidding. She just closed on Sundays. But,
I was like, really?
but we got some Brahms, which I also feel like is very Oklahoma and fitting.
Yeah, you really don't get that many other places in the world either. And Brahms is so good. I have an idea, and I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to try it. Anything that drives some curiosity in me, I'm going to tap it. We're going to find out together what it does and see how different or how similar it is to G3X. Now, given I've had a year on G3X, so I know G3X pretty okay. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying I'm not bad at it. I'm like right in the middle. I'm an average user.
You're a user, though. We're very used to using it.
We're very used to using it. So with my couple hundred hours on G3X, now coming into this, I'm going to see what differences there are.
Welcome to CFI Paul.
I guess we can just start on the main display. So if I come in here on the PFD specifically, on the CDI, there's a lot of information. If I click on this down here, I can come into PFW settings, and then there's bearing pointers. Now under bearing pointers, I get to select a bunch of stuff. I can have a bearing pointer on my flight plan, on a localizer, on best, or on nearest. I have it selected on nearest. So what it's doing right now is it's showing me this blue line is the nearest airport at all times. So as I fly by an airport, it's pointing to the nearest one. As I get further away from that one, nearer to another one, it automatically shifts to this next airport. And so constantly I know if I want an emergency, I don't have to press anything. I can just look at my CDI and know, hey, look, it's down to the southeast. So I can just rip down to the southeast. And everything else feels pretty normal. Like there's nothing big change on the PFD. I hit the split button. It was in split. Now I'm going to full. And we have these things now. So these are widgets. And these widgets, there's 3. They can each be programmed as a different thing. So I can have 3 of several different things. So right now I have mine set up as map, flight plan, and weather. That feels really natural for me. That's the extra information that I feel I'm wanting from my PFD. In each, though, you have all these. So you have map, flight plan, weather, traffic, nearest, G meter, and you can do any organization of those 3. So now on the main screen, I have my moving map, my flight plan, and weather all right there. Now this is ADS-B weather. My SiriusXM is still in my 750. That hasn't been released yet. I've heard rumors that that could be coming in the future. Coming further forward to the right, I have all my engine management. This feels pretty different to me too. Aaron was mentioning, like, they changed the font. This auto point out though, they've changed the little things. Like they've gone into the details of every element, all the way down to the font.
I also, Loki, want to ask one of the designers, like, okay, but why did we choose this font? What was the psychology behind it?
So on the engine management side, there's more information in the sidebar. Most of it is the same. So they've organized it better per system now. So you have manifold pressure RPM up top, but then you have everything oil, and then everything engine temp, and then everything fuel, and then everything electrical. Whereas in the past, it was fuel, oil, fuel, electrical, engine. So this is like a much more collective flow. I think it's something to get used to, but I have noticed it on startup. My eyes automatically go to my oil pressure, and now it's like it's right on top. Like I see it right away. Other things that I've noticed is the actual bars, so oil PSI, you see the pressure of 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. Before you didn't have any reference. You just saw a green range. You didn't see the 60, 80, 100. I mean, we keep saying it. It's the little details. Like there's these little improvements of just more information that help me understand the bigger picture. That's as deep as I've gone so far in my 10 hours of flying on AXIS. So now I guess we can start jumping into the secondary, the split screen. And it's very similar to how we would scroll or navigate through G3X as well. But what you will notice about this, that I noticed the second I touch this thing, is how fast everything loads.
Yeah.
Like, I go from map to waypoint, and it is just up. And then if I am in waypoint, I'm clicked on this airport right here. I come into charts. Oh my gosh, the charts are just loaded. And now coming from charts, if I want to go in an approach chart, RNAV 3-4, it is loaded the second that screen closes. There's no waiting for it to load. The layout is very similar to what we already know on G3X. So you have info, frequency, runway, weather, just that whole list. Little things that have changed in the frequency though. If I click on a frequency, I can load it directly into active. I don't have to go to standby, which that's new.
That is new.
And we've used that so much already.
Yeah.
Like, that was instant. I was like, oh, this is so nice. And then on the info side, the main info page, you get similar information, but it's a scrolling map, so you can zoom in, zoom out, and then you can actually click into the airport diagram. So from that main page, I can just click the airport diagram. I have my visualization of the airport. You see where windsocks are, where your runway, your taxiways, everything, and it's laid out exactly how it's going to be right after we land with the smart taxi. On this series, we're jumping into so many random airports. Like right now, we just departed where?
I don't know. We don't remember half the airports we depart from.
Well, anyway, en route, we're like, okay, we're going to actually drop into this new airport and grab some fuels. I was able to immediately look at the taxiway diagram and know what runway I'm landing, where the fuel pumps are, and yeah, just all the info I needed. I'll go back to the map page. Right now, I live in the topo map. I really enjoy the topo map. I feel like it's the visualization that feels most natural to me. On this topo map, way more responsive. As I zoom into it, things appear really quickly. There's no refresh time. Other things we've noticed, and I think these are settings that we can turn on and off, but maybe it's just turned on right now. We haven't figured out how to turn it off. But we have a circle around our plane, so we see the zoom setting of the map. So as I zoom out, I see this is a 15 statute mile circle. So I have perspective and awareness. This is new though. So when I come into map, there's this VSD. Don't ask me what it stands for. I have no clue. I'm going to press VSD, and we have our terrain split underneath our topo map. Before, I'd have to go to terrain page, and now I can keep the situational awareness of the topo map, or your sectional, or your IFR low, and then I can have the terrain just underneath. And as we fly through mountains, or as it gets into evening time, and I just want that additional awareness, having this terrain advisory is, you can't go back once you have it, I'll say that. It's like a huge safety. The biggest feature on the main page that I haven't even talked about yet is a feature they brought in from Garmin Pilot. Now this is in some of their newer displays, but it hasn't touched the GA market quite yet, the experimental GA market quite yet, and now it's here. I know Garmin has a name for this. I don't know the name for it. I'm sorry, I'm a bad ambassador. In Garmin Pilot, if I touch an airport, there's this circle. I'll call it Garmin Circle. The Garmin Circle comes up, and I get a ton of options for information. So information's at my fingertips. Right now, when I click on an airport near me, I'm able to see airport information direct to, I can create a waypoint, or I can insert this into my route. So I get a lot of options. In more complex airspace, you get even more options. So this one over here, it actually gives me an airspace tab, so I can click into airspace. I'm like, okay, so this class Charlie is surplus to 5,000 feet. As I've been using Garmin Pilot for a year now, that integration into here is intuitive. Previously, sometimes there'd be traffic right over an airport I'm trying to go to, and I'm like tapping the airport, and it keeps tapping on the darn traffic. And I'm like, what's going on? Back to the waypoint page, I have noticed this. In the directory section, the information in here has changed for sure. So this seems very similar now to Garmin Pilot with the level of information that we have. So, for example, we have fuel prices in here, and it says when it was last updated. It gives a lot of information that I didn't notice in the G3X. It's an integrated flight display. So it fully has integrated in with our GTN, with everything behind the panels or behind the hood, and it talks to everything. Now, AXIS optimizes in the back end which antenna it's going to use. So if we have an antenna failure on one antenna, it will automatically go to the other, and vice versa. That being said, you only ever have to put in your flight plan into AXIS, or you can do it into GTN now, and there's no selection of external versus internal GPS. If I wanted to put it into G3X, I would then have to always edit the flight plan in G3X. If I put it in GTN, I'd always have to edit it in GTN. But now you can put it into either. You can edit it on either. It's fully integrated. Things that I noticed are new on this. There is no side panel on weather. Where you get to that, I would assume is in menu. So let's click menu. Yep. Okay, so I have radar, turbulence, icing, METARs, PIREPs. Yeah, I have everything here. And then again, the Garmin Circle. I should know what that's called. The Garmin Circle comes up and I can find out information about that weather. Yeah, that's super intuitive. And again, I haven't even touched this before, and we just figured that out.
Yeah.
All right, the next tab is the nearest tab. When we were at Bearhawk, Brian from Garmin came, and he has worked on this display, this integrated flight system for years. So he is like a wealth of knowledge. And one thing he did mention to me, he said in a flight plan, in a approach, AXIS will tell you what you need to know when you need to know it. When I go to nearest, I see airport, the runway length, there is an ILS, I see a bearing, and then I see the CTAF. I can click on these things guaranteed. I haven't even touched it, but I click on CTAF, toss it right into active. I can click on AIMS, direct to instantly into my my GFC 500. So into my flight plan. We have this apps page. You have primary, quick actions, and settings and tools. This is all still stuff we're feeling out.
Yeah.
But on the primary, these are just the selections that you have for the knob. Nothing new there. Then on quick actions, you have direct to procedure inhibits. This is something good. Okay, so flying backcountry or flying down low, getting spicy, you're getting close to things. And sometimes you don't want your lovely panel talking to you.
Terrain,
pull up. But sometimes you do want to just turn it off so that way you can go play around. In G3X, I always had trouble finding where that was. Like, it always took me a while. So Garmin has brought a lot of those features or a lot of those user interactions to this quick actions page. So right here, I have the inhibits button. I click on it and I can inhibit terrain, obstacles, traffic, smart glide you can enable or disable. So little quick actions in there. A lot of cool quick actions. If you look on the bottom of AXIS, you have back menu, your direct to button. And the new button, though, is emergency. This, I feel, is so well thought out, and I hope I never have to use it, but I'm happy to have it. Instantly, I have a lot up here on the screen. I have a Smart Glide button where I press it and it engages Smart Glide. I see immediately that there is an airport within glide range. It's green, it says glide, I know I have an airport below me. If I just went into IMC unintentionally, I have a 180-degree turn that I can just activate the 180 and the autopilot will do it for me. We all know the statistics around pilots going VFR into IMC, and this button here, I feel is going to save lives. What they've done is they've created one page to aviate, navigate, and communicate all in one. So then we as pilots can hopefully rectify a situation. And I think this is just such an amazing flow to have the aviate and navigate completed for you in one button press. Yeah. Smart Glide, aviate, navigate, done. And then you can come in to communicate. You can go ahead and transponder, one button press. Emergency comm, one button press. You're communicating. And then you can start rectifying the situation. I'd say the one last thing I'm going to mention is fully wired into this AXIS display is a USB-C, so you can charge your iPad and watch Netflix.
Right after the emergency talk, bro! But that about wraps up our time on Route 66. It was kind of fun just like beep-bopping around and getting to use the avionics for the first time in AXIS in a very casual manner while also getting to be a part of history and see some really quirky, unique spots.
I hope this is fun, and I hope you guys glean some information from this. These displays, the team at Garmin is all ready for all of your questions. So Aaron and I are still very much learning. The Garmin experts know this stuff. Like, I already, just going through this with you guys, I already have more questions, so we're taking notes on the side, like, ask Brian how to look at logs, you know?
Why did you name it AXIS?
So if you have any questions, if you want to find out more, highly encourage you guys to get a hold of the guys at Garmin. at Oshkosh. Go to the Garmin booth, they'll have AXIS displays up, and they'll have experts there to talk you through the differences at a more in-depth level. I feel really lucky to have this display. We are very fortunate to be partnered with Garmin and to be ambassadors with Garmin. I pinch myself being able to say that. And so to be able to fly behind this display, get a first look into what the future of aviation is looking like, the future of general aviation is looking like, this is really exciting.
And we also realized that we wouldn't even be here to get this opportunity if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much for being a part of this journey. If you are going to be at Oshkosh, we're going to be there with Tina. She is going to be on display at Garmin.
Do you believe it's 2 weeks away?
No.
Like a week
so
and a
much
half?
to do. I have so much editing. Guys, the Georgia video is coming in like a couple weeks because I want to get this to you before Osh, okay? Don't worry, Georgia is not done. We have another video coming. Thanks for being a part of this journey and discovering AXIS with us, and we'll see you at Osh. Peace out. A-Town.
Dude, isn't it the best having a fridge in the plane?
Oh my gosh, the best.
Whoa, y'all are dirty. Who hasn't cleaned you up?
Whoa.
I'm back in Oklahoma.